Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, 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 everyone. Let me make sure that I'm actually live. Because, sometimes it says I'm live, but I'm not really live. So, okay. Oops. Nope. Go this way. There we go. All right. Hi, everybody. It's our second Tuesday of going live for tea and a little bit of chit chat. If you happen to come in, come hang out with me. Oh, there I am. I just popped up on my own YouTube, so that works. Come hang out with me. I am making hot chocolate today instead of tea, which we had last week. Today I'm doing a superfood mushroom blend from Ohm Mushroom Superfood. So when I first decided to try, I like hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. I love really good hot chocolates, but I also wanted a hot chocolate that, well, a little healthier, and I don't mind mushrooms, and sometimes I just need a little pick me up, and this has some ashwagandha in it. Anyway, organic cocoa, ashwagandha, reishi, lion's mane, shaga, and turkey tail. So it's got all kinds of good stuff in it. Anyway, little superfood, stress relief, immune health, mushroom. So I am making myself a cup of hot chocolate, and we're last week it was the cats, today it's the owls. There's a theme here. Yeah, there's a theme. Anyway, if you come in, say hey, hang out with me. If not, as per last week, I will just chat for about 30 minutes and then I will go back to work, going back to the rest of my day and doing all the things that I need to do. If you catch us on the replay, drop a replay. Let me know that you're here. Oops. Oh no. I think I'm making a mess. Here we go. It's really hard to get this off, which just goes to show you that it's sealed really well, right? So, yeah, it's the Ohm Mushroom Superfood. Oh, hey, somebody's watching. Hello out there. It's not telling me anything, but if you're out there and you're just listening and because you're at work and you secretly have me in your ears or not so secretly have me in your ears, then welcome to our tea and chit chat break. I'm making hot chocolate and I put a little cinnamon in my hot chocolate because I like my stuff a little more bougie. Um, oh, hey, hi there, Kim Larson. For some reason, I can see comments on my phone, but not in StreamYard, so it's just really weird. So we are having a little chit chat. And as I was saying, if you decide to leave a comment for some, I usually can see comments, but for some reason, it's not showing it today. All right. I'm gonna let StreamYard do its thing because we're only here for 30 minutes, right? So as I was saying, I really like to put a little cinnamon sugar in my hot chocolate. I know, right? It's already sweet, but I like that combination. So let me find. So, oh, and they also make, I got this at one of the spice shops. It's a vanilla sugar. Can you see that? It's a vanilla sugar. It's called the vanilla sugar the vanilla sugar of love, and it is. I think they gave these out on Transgender Remembrance Day. Yes, and so I've got a vanilla sugar, I've got a cinnamon sugar, and I think those just go perfect in a cup of hot chocolate. Because it's already sweet, so it might as well be sweeter. So I put a little vanilla sugar, and then I also I'm not a milk drinker, but I love almond milk, so I put almond milk in all of my libations of choice. So I've got a little almond milk. Hang on a minute. It's already hot. See, it's already steaming. A little almond milk in my cup. And before I completely mix my hot chocolate up, I put a little bit of the hot almond milk in my cup. I know this is not a cooking show. Hey, Michelle. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, I'm in Central Standard Time. You are absolutely right. Sorry about that. I should probably put that out there. I thought I put Central Standard Time on the thing. I sometimes forget. I'm making a cup of hot cocoa because I had tea last time and I really wanted cocoa this time. And I was pointing out that I like to put If this is loud, I'll give me a second. I need to stir this up. Otherwise, it's gonna I'm gonna end up drinking cocoa clumps and not actual hot cocoa. I'm making hot chocolate and I like to put a little either vanilla sugar or cinnamon sugar in it. So I was looking for my vanilla sugar. And now I'm slurrying it. So when I make hot chocolate for my son to get it to break up, sometimes hot chocolate clumps together when you try to make it. So what I do is I put a little bit of it in. I put all the hot chocolate I'm going to put in there, and then I put a little bit of the hot whatever milk or water you're going to use, and then I mix that really, really well. If I had my whisk, I would use the whisk, but I can't find my little whisk. Anyway, and then it's not so clumpy, and you can like work out all the clumps without it falling out of the cup. So that's my hot chocolate. I don't. I bought it from this. I am so blessed. Actually, one of the few things about living in this town that I love is that there is a Penzeys spice shop, and I love Penzeys spices. I don't know if you can see that, but it's Penzeys, and they make a vanilla sugar. And I was saying earlier that it's the transgender remember vanilla sugar of love, and so I like to buy and support as many causes as I can. And I like the fact that they are a socially conscious spice shop. So I like to shop there every chance I get. I also love their cinnamon sugar, and I like sugars. I like sugar. Like most people in this world, I like sugar. Okay, I think I have slurried out all of my chocolates. Let me add the rest of my milk so I can actually, drink it at some point. It smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I was thinking if we get the chance to hang, last week I didn't have anyone hanging with me, so I just talked a bit about the concept of what, you know, me, I like to chat. Hang on, let me do a little more stirring here. Fantastic. We have got ourselves, let me take a little taste. Oh, that's good, y'all. I was going to add some honey. Don't even need to. I don't have a huge sweet tooth, but when it comes to things like hot chocolate, I want it to be sweet. I like that sweet, thick hot chocolate, the kind that almost feels like they've melted a bar of chocolate. And so, oh, hang on. Now Alexa has decided to engage. Alexa, cancel. Because she was telling me about French hot chocolate, which is exactly what I was going to say. I really love French hot chocolates because they're nice and they're thick and they're lusciously good. And I just find like the American versions are so watery, so watery. So anyway, I'm actually really surprised that this Ohm is so tasty because it's a really good hot chocolate. If you like hot chocolates. Anyway, how are you out there? Talk to me. How's it going? This is a space to just relax, get a few minutes. If you're having your lunch or taking a mid morning snack, tell us what you're eating. Tell us what something that is making your day peaceful. Give us a little bit of insight behind the scenes. I was thinking, as I was thinking about our time together, I love that my day starts really early. I don't love that. I'm not a morning person. If you're a morning person, drop a morning person, an MP in the comments. I am not a morning person. Unfortunately, I have to be up really early right now for some business, but if it's left up to me, the world does not see my face until around 10:30 or 11. It is not up to me sometimes. So this morning I had to be up rather early, as I did yesterday. But um all that to say, I do like a quiet morning. I know some people like the din, the noise of morning, and the feel, the rhythm of all the stuff. I like a quiet morning. I like a quiet morning. I like to gather my thoughts, think about what I'm going to do for the day, have a little meditative time. Just some time, just some peace before my very busy schedule starts to get really, really full. And because I have to remind my wonderful community not to doom scroll, I have a hiatus on my own phone that I do not log in and do any posting or anything before 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't do it. So if you see a post, it's because I've scheduled it to come out the night before or weeks before or whatever, because I firmly practice what I preach, and it is hard enough to navigate the day without a thousand pieces of information coming at you, right? So I don't like to get on and do too many things first thing in the morning because I don't want that energy disrupting my day. And so many people will let the energy of the world come in and disrupt their mornings. And it's such a sacred time. Right, I have to get up early so I can have a little quiet time too, even when I for me, like I said, if it were left up to me, I wouldn't be up very long or very early. I also have a family, so getting up early enough to have some quiet time, some journal time. If I can, I do a lot of my own meditative practices in the morning, and I'm gonna drink this, but it's really hot at the moment. It's really hot. Um, but that allows me a chance to center and ground, just to figure out what my thoughts are, and you can hear so much more clearly in the quiet of the morning. Like some of my best ideas come in the quiet of the morning, which is why I keep a pad of paper and a pencil next to my bed. So if I have an idea for something, you know how you'll forget. I don't know about y'all, but my brain siphons information all day long. So if I don't write something down, literally it's gone. It's absolutely gone. But I find if I'm working through something, some problem or project, like, the state of the world, not the state of the world, just kidding. This is a time for peace, not drama. But if you're working through a problem or a project and you're struggling with how to find that answer, put a pad of paper next to your bed and just record your morning thoughts because the world is so noisy all day long. And when you're trying to navigate through a problem that you're trying to solve, some of the best answers are coming to you, but you can't hear them, right? You just simply can't hear them because there's just too much noise all day long. But once you wake up, you go to bed and you wake up because your body gets a chance to get down into its circadian rhythm. It gets its healing going on. It puts the conscious part of you to sleep that won't be quiet, the part that just won't shut up all day long. And then it can process all of the information that it has taken in, and it can tell you some things that you might have missed. And so I learned a long time ago that if I just wrote in the morning before the world came in, before I got up and started engaging with stuff, I found that I would find answers to things that I needed to get answers to. Places where I needed to understand what was happening, things I may not have been seeing. I will tell you that during some really trying periods of my life, when I would get up in the morning first thing and get a cup of tea, coffee, hot chocolate, not coffee. I don't like coffee, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. Let me take that lie back. Let me retract that. I know there are coffee aficionados out there. I keep trying, but coffee and beer, I just can't do either one of those. Anyway, I digress. So, that's kind of a morning ritual that I got into because during really trying periods of my life when I would get up and journal, I used to do morning pages a la Julia Cameron's work. And I found that in those pages would be the answer to things that I was searching for, that I was looking for, whether it was the solution to a problem or why does this pattern keep occurring? Well, when you begin to quiet yourself and you start journaling enough, your pages begin to reflect the patterns that you're looking for. And then you can go back and read. So that's just part of my morning ritual. What's does anyone else have some morning rituals that they like to get into in the morning where they how they start their day that allows them to just focus more and be more present? If you do, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you're doing, and maybe someone out there will be like, "Oh, I could do that." When I work with my clients, some will say, "I don't like to write." Like I don't have the capacity or space or whatever to write. So writing's not going to be no, no, Dr. Sash, no. And I will say, excuse me, now I'm gonna take a drink. I will say to them, you hold in the palm of your hands a computer. Wild, right? We forget that there is literally in the palm of our hands a computer. And if we tap it and turn it on and go into the App Store, we can do something called download a voice recorder. And so I will have my clients voice recording themselves. Just go talk and you wake up, get your coffee, hit play, hit record, lay your phone down. It'll go dark. It won't even be like it's there. It'll go dark. And just start stream of conscious talking. So if you're not much of a writer, that stream of conscious talking for you is writing, right? Because it allows you to clear the fluff. Let's be real. Like I said, we're swimming in so much noise all day long. We all need to be able to clear the fluff, right? But if you don't like to write or writing's just not your stick, then record yourself. Grab a voice recorder, put a voice recorder app on your phone. Y'all, I'm gonna date myself here, right? I'm gonna tell you, like, my age is gonna show, but I used to have a little tape recorder. And I got that idea of recording myself when I couldn't write, because, like, you can't always carry on a pad, piece of paper and a pencil. But I got that idea from a speed reading class that I took so many years ago when I've always been a prolific reader, but not a very fast reader. And I wanted to know how to read faster, but still retain content, right? Like still have good comprehension of what I was reading, but I wanted to get through things faster. Now I've slowed down in recent years because I got glasses last year, and I'm still trying to figure out life with glasses. I'm still not quite there yet, but I have slowed down. But one of the things that I took from that speed reading course was to keep track of my thoughts right after I would read something. That was how they would train your brain to retain information. And then I took a couple of courses with Jim Quick as well, because again, I think reading is so important, and I'm a fundamentally voracious reader, but I want my brain to expand, so I use all kinds of tips and tricks to do that. Anyway, the idea of recording sometimes fits better with um, my type of clients. I work with women who are in transition, usually going through a divorce, and they can whip out their tape recorder when they're having a triggering moment, when they're overwhelmed. And if they record their thoughts, or they record something important and then go back and listen to it later, it is it is wild what we will solve for ourselves if we just listened to ourselves. Because we get so caught up in the emotion of a moment that we don't actually hear ourselves. And when you can just talk with no censor, no filter, or just write, right? No judgment, no censor, no filter, just you, piece of paper, a voice recorder, and just you and you. Like yesterday, in the video, I said, are you somebody's someone, or are you one of one? And part of becoming one of one, the one that you need to take the most care of, is listening to ourselves. And if we never make a space to listen to ourselves, then it would it would stand to reason that we don't know what we want, because we're not listening to ourselves, because so many folks are wanting our attention. People are vying for our attention all day long. So giving yourself a little bit of time to breathe, and not only just to breathe though, but to get your thoughts out, get them down and look at them objectively. Once the emotion has passed and you come back and listen to your thought process, listen to or read what you've written, it's amazing how you can start to see the thread of your answer coming through. Like you can pull that thread, and by pulling that thread through your writings for a couple of days or a week or 2 weeks, or your voice recordings, you start to hear yourself repeat certain things over and over and over and over again. And then you're like, okay, wait a second, like hold the phone. The answer that I've been asking, the question that I've been asking, here's the answer. Now, I may not have been hearing that answer because I'm not sure that I want this answer, but here's the answer that I've been looking for. I just saved you 2 hours of therapy. 3 hours on a therapist's couch. Not that now I love therapists. A good therapist is worth their weight in chocolate. Chocolate. And I highly recommend that if you've never seen one, you definitely get to one. But if you are the kind of person who also is very self-reflexive and intuitive to yourself, and you like to um, expand how you understand and know yourself, journal or voice record yourself for 2 or 3 days in a row and see what your brain's trying to tell you. See what your processes are, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed and under the gun on something. Like, it's some of the highest achieving people that I know use that technique. Like they spend time listening to themselves. Because and it's weird, right? Because you would think that people at the top of their game would spend less time listening to themselves, but they actually spend a lot of time just listening to themselves and figuring out where they need to go based on what they already know, because y'all know so much stuff. We don't get paralyzed by information because we lack information. We get paralyzed by information because we have a lot of information. But your brain is trying to put a pattern there that you can follow. And the best way to find that pattern is to start listening to yourself. All right, I'm rambling. Y'all talk to me. How's it going out there? How's your day going? How is work going? If you're listening to me on lunch, I'm gonna keep talking to you because that's just it's how I roll. But I'm gonna take a brief drink. So talk to me if you can. Yeah, that's good stuff. Mhm. Mm, that is excellent. Om superfood mushroom hot chocolate with ashwagandha and organic cocoa. Highly recommended. In the winter, when it gets really cold, and I don't like the cold, but when it's really cold, and if I have one of these at night, I will add whiskey. I will. I'm a grown up. Everybody who's listening to me is a grown up. I will add a little whiskey and maybe a little honey if I'm sick. I will sleep like a baby, like a baby. You can take all the melatonin that you want to. Just give me some hot chocolate with a little whiskey and honey, and I will sleep like a baby. I don't do it all the time. I don't need it all the time, but it's a great thing to have in the back pocket after a long day. Making my granddaughter, ooh, oh, look at you. Lemon poppy seed muffins. Okay, I like muffins. I like lemons and I like poppy seed. So, if you want to send some on over, I'll be happy to take some of those off your hands and relieve you of some of the muffins. I love muffins and I love fresh oranges. I love fresh raspberries. It's weird because I don't like orange juice. I'm one of those weird people who cannot drink orange juice. And I even like mimosas, but I don't like it with orange juice, which I guess doesn't make it technically a mimosa. But but I don't like orange juice, but fresh oranges, I love. Like an orange wedge, I'm there. Absolutely. But not orange juice, which is really weird, right? And I also am not huge on orange flavored things. And I think it's because the orange flavor is too strong, whereas a fresh orange isn't overpowering, right? It's one of those weird things. I have weird taste buds. I follow a travel content creator, and her handle is Picky Girl Travels the World. And the reason her handle is Picky Girl Travels the World is because she says she's picky with food. And so on her travels around the world before she settled in Mexico, she would be talking about what she eats because she has these food things that are important to her. And so as she's traveling the world talking about being picky, I would always think, I guess I am kind of picky about the food that I eat because I have some weird little things that I just, right? I don't like orange flavored things, but I like oranges, fresh oranges. Same with lemon. I don't necessarily like lemon flavored things, but I love the taste of fresh lemon in things, if that makes sense. What can I tell you? I mean, it's just one of those things. Okay, so back to getting out of our heads and solving our own problems. I'm giving away one of my gems that I charge people for, y'all. But it's really such a useful tool that I think everyone should do. If you have never been a journaler or you're someone who's like, I'm not a writer, I don't really like to sit down, and that's why I told my clients, like, when you are on your phone all day long, please remember it's just a computer. It's literally just a computer. And if you add an app, you can do anything on it, right? So get yourself a recorder and just start recording your thoughts throughout the day. Hear where your thoughts are going. Because where our attention flows is where we end up, right? So if your attention is constantly flowing in a negative direction, your day ends on a negative note. It's just it's 1 + 1 = 2. And if you can course correct in your day because you're like, okay, I've listened to myself for 3 days in a row, and around about the same time every day, I am in a funk. Then you can start to say, what is happening right before that that makes it go downhill for me? Or who am I engaging with? Like, who am I talking to that I all of a sudden have these really dark or depressive thoughts? What's happening that is shifting my otherwise going well day into a funk? Or conversely, my thoughts have been really kind of down for a few days, but I notice whenever I engage with this person, if I record after talking to that person, I notice how upbeat I feel, how much my mood shifts and changes, right? Like, so many of the answers to the things that we're puzzled by in our own behavior and in our own life patterns, literally, we if we listened to ourselves, we could hear our pattern. Now, when I'm working with someone, we're doing this together. Like, I'm helping them to see where their patterns are, their triggers are, so that we can diffuse the trigger and get rid of the pattern. But also we're looking for the answers together for the questions that are in their minds, the ones that they've been struggling with and trying to figure out, how do I make this work, or should I even try? If you can, give yourself permission to take a few moments and write down your thoughts today. Just when you get home, or if you happen to do public transit or take an Uber, or if you've got your voice recorder on your phone, 5 minute freestyles, like I like to call it, a 5 minute freestyle. Just take 5 minutes and freestyle whatever's in your head. Just let it come out. Do it a couple times a day. Just let it come out. 5 minutes. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to drink my coffee, and I'm going to stream of conscious for 5 minutes. And then in a week, go back and listen to what you said. You may find that you have a lot of things that you need to take care of, that your brain is trying to tell you, hey, do this, this, and this, but you haven't been listening. Or you may find that the problem, or the problem person, the problem situation that has been driving you crazy isn't really driving you crazy because your brain solved it 6 months ago, but you haven't stopped long enough to listen to the solution. And implementation may be quicker than you think if you could just figure out which way to go, right? So many good things happen when we can listen to ourselves, and when we can bring ourselves back to ourselves. Because I believe that once we can bring ourselves back to ourselves, and whatever transition we're in goes much more smoothly, much more smoothly. I'm one of the few people who says to a client at the very beginning, at some point you are no longer going to need me, and I know then that my job is done. Because when can take the tools that we have cultivated, and one day you're going to wake up and go, I should call Dr. Sashin, and you're going to say, but I don't need to because I have all the tools necessary to get through what I'm getting through. I call that a success, and I'm happy to say that success. That makes me happy. All right, y'all. It's almost 11:30. We've had a good half hour together. Thank you for chatting with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're interested in hanging with me more, Life Reimagined Workshop is this Saturday, August 30th, from 11 to noon Central Standard Time. I'll put the link in the description. It is a free workshop, but I'm only taking a limited number of women into the workshop as we talk about what life might look like on the other side of a transition and how I can help you get there. You all have been fantastic. And we will do this again next week. If we get enough interest, then we will do it twice a week. But for the moment, it is fantastic to see you all. Thank you for hanging out with me, Michelle. Hey, Cicely, it's good to see you. If you happen to catch the replay, hit replay and let me know that you're listening to it. And if you decide to take the time to record your thoughts this week, let me know how that goes for you. Ask yourself a question and then let your subconscious answer you and see what you find that you may have been struggling with. Enjoy your coffee or tea or hot chocolate, and I will see everyone who chooses to again next Tuesday. Have a great rest of your day, and may you find some peace in your journey. That's it for now. Take care, everybody. Oh, see, we should have been walking together. Okay, I'm gonna go stop. Okay, I gotta go because I have a meeting. But I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.